This year has brought me to the lowest point in my life, when it started so well. Mid-year I lost my job. It was my own fault. I was late, and as an essential worker they couldn't have that and let me go. My daughter's mother was varying in appearances, but it was mostly up to myself, my mother and my ex's mother. They were huge in the help department, but I was exhausted. Shortly after losing my job, my daughter's mother made claims of SAF from me to my daughter. Though I complied and did all I could to prove I didn't, with the severity of allegations I lost my daughter from August to the end of November. My entire world was shattered. I locked myself away from the world. Last Monday my case was dismissed and my daughter was returned to my full custody. The mother has failed multiple drug tests and CPS opened a case on her. I was able to scrounge up a job for the time being, but I'm not able to live off of it, low pay and even lower hours. I can't explain the pure joy I have now that my daughter has been returned to me, but I'm beyond stressed with my current job situation, bills, and now the holidays. I've not been able to talk about how I feel with anyone. I'm embarrassed of my financial state, and though the allegations were outlandish and proven wrong, it still sucks to be accused of such things. Thank you for letting me share. I can completely relate to your post about how the year has been. I slipped on the ice on January 16, 2024 and shattered my right knee, and broke and dislocated my tibia and femur. I was in the hospital for 24 days and had 2 surgeries. I lost my job as a paralegal of 10 years, lost my apartment, someone used my social to file a tax return under my name, and so much more. 2 days after I was released, my son's great-great-aunt got emergency custody of him on the premise that I was still in the hospital. At the hearing a few weeks after, a judge ruled that I could not take care of my son because I was in a wheelchair. Fast forward to a few months later, I had been humiliated in court by the aunt and fought tooth and nail to get him back, just for the judge to say I could only have supervised visitations due to me having 5 surgeries and needing to have a total knee replacement. I luckily found my current position at a local firm and have been there for 6 months. I also was able to finally have one of our attorneys represent me, and I officially got full custody back of my 8-year-old who has autism on October 10, 2024. The aunt has called CPS on me 3 times, the police twice, and it hasn't even been 2 months. I had a CPS officer show up Sunday and tell me they were not allowing him to come home because he had fallen on the playground and gotten some bruises. I had to go to a team something meeting where I was told because I couldn't say where the bruising came from for certain that I now have to have a social worker come into my home 3 days a week randomly to check up on me and how I am parenting. I'm so furious and have fought so hard to be able to not only walk again and regain my professional status but to get my child back. This woman is trying everything in her power to destroy everything that I have worked so hard for, and she has almost achieved it. I say all that to say that it is the lowest point to be at, and I have been at the point thinking, what did I do wrong? Am I a bad person or a bad parent? The answer is none of those things. I have just had a shitty set of events happen at the wrong time, but I have done what I am supposed to, and I hope 2025 is going to be better. Keep your head up, and I hope your situation improves as well. After being a single parent for 11 years now, I can say there is always a new light at the end of the tunnel. When I was pregnant with my first son, I lived in a homeless shelter, following pretty severe physical and emotional abuse, and always felt so much shame seeing my friends achieving so much around me while I was pregnant and homeless due to my own dumb choice in partner. Now I have a career and bought a house, but it's so exhausting still. There's never a moment of ease in life, at least not in mine. There's always the threat that a single incident will bring my and my 2 kids' lives to a halt and we'll need to build up from ground zero all over again. My new light at the end of the tunnel is pivoting in career because I can't handle my job where I need to solve everyone else's problems for them while I manage my own life. So I feel you, but just know it's an evolution and you will get back on your feet, even if you do it all alone. One day your daughter will see how much you did for her to be stable. My dad was a single dad and I think of how much he sacrificed for my life every single day. I hear that you are a parent who will fight for their daughter, a parent who wishes a good life for yourself and your daughter. You wish the holidays were less financially strained and that you could offer more materialistic things to your daughter. You hope to change this by getting another job, more hours. That all sounds like you are a wonderful parent who is making priorities towards your little family that you love. When cash is tight and things are though, I see you have so much love to give, and that is the most important thing you can give as a parent. Keep on loving, and I keep my fingers crossed you get a livable wage and a wonderful holiday. I am so sorry. Please hang in there. I went through a really bad year a while ago. Some days I would literally be on my knees just praying to God to get me through the day. Some things that helped me. 1. Recognize what you can control, what you can't control. If you have influence over something, be as proactive as possible. If you cannot control something, let it go. Stressing about it will not help at all. 2. Try to take small steps where you can. However, some days just be proud you survived the day. 3. There are good people out there. I was so in the habit of just doing everything, with no support. It was very difficult for me, but it is okay to let someone help you. Not that anyone was paying my bills or doing huge tasks, but some days it was helpful for someone to give a ride or help with a small errand. 4. It's okay to talk about your stress, concerns, needs. I was raised to keep feelings inside. If you find supportive friends groups, it is a relief to be able to express your feelings. Depending on where you are, you might be entitled to make up time for the lost time. And maybe you should consider going for a modification that the mom not be able to make big decisions like medical, psych, dental BC. If she made this allegation and put your child through exams and interviews, she might not be the person to give the responsibility to. As far as the other stuff, the fact that your daughter is back will let PPL know it wasn't true, and that you went through the worst. That said, your ex might make up something later, so maybe get cameras in your home, or have your mom or sister or someone neutral move in with you. If you're financially down, consider some things on TikTok. Find little crafts to do with your daughter out of pine cones and sticks and things like that. Just spend your focus on making it through a happy season. Good luck. I know that feeling. I saw my kids any in a year until yesterday. Well over a year. Started off the year was losing the girl of my dreams and ended up going to jail. Had to sell my truck while I was in jail. While I was in jail, my ex-girlfriend moved somebody else in with her and forgot I even existed. After we had a 3-year relationship that was great, full of memories. Then I lost my job because I went to jail. I get out of jail, my car tires up, no way to fix it, cause I'm broke. Would love more than anything just to talk to my ex. I can't because you put me in jail again, so I got to hold you and everything that I want to say to her and apologize, and it just seems to be one thing right after another, so I'm right there with you, bud. I understand that. But I'm in an opposite ship. My son's father molested his young sister for 7 years while we were together. I didn't find out till I was pregnant, and now he's been fighting me on everything. I finally won custody, but then he raised the question in the middle of court if my son was even biologically his. My situation is a little complicated as my son was born in a different state than where we are living now. The state he was born with wants a DNA test, but the state we reside doesn't. The court case is all in our current state. IDK if I should even do the DNA test. BC IDK what it would serve other than my ex's state of mind. He only recently got out of prison.